am sitting on the remnants of a beauty blender because my dog shreds them. I have a good dog. Get the fuck. You're bad. You should have beauty blender. Like 5 minutes ago, I was sitting down to edit this video and I'm like halfway through and I'm kind of watching as I'm going and I'm literally telling this story like, hey guys, it's Tana. Today's video is about the time I was arrested for drug paraphernalia. Sorry, Mom. Haha. And it is the worst video I have ever filmed in my entire life. And the story is way too fucking good to let it go down in history like that. Like, I only have one chance to tell this story to the internet, and I need to give you some enthusiasm, okay? Hi guys, it's Tana Mongeau, and I decided that I am gonna start doing this thing on my channel where I tell you guys a few stories of some times that I've been arrested or almost arrested or like detained or just anything related to the police, because I think that you guys will find the stories very interesting. And fuck you to anyone and everyone that said I was running out of story times. Bitch, I don't know if you know, but my entire life is a shit show. You've only heard like 7 stories of it. It's never ending. I'm never gonna run out of story times. And I'm about to hit you guys with some stories of times I've gotten arrested. And today's story, I have been meaning to tell you this story since I literally started my YouTube channel a year ago. Like, this story just goes down in history as one of the most ultimate L's I've ever taken in my entire fucking life. And I'm sorry, Mom. I'm sorry.
How do you
Shut up.
cut?
Okay, cool. Before I get into the video, shameless self-promo as fuck, just sucking my own dick, giving myself road dome. If you are subscribed to me on here, it would mean a lot to me if you followed me on my other social medias, specifically Twitter and Snapchat, because when I'm not posting on here, those are lit as fuck. I do mini story times on Snapchat all the time because my life is just a constant shit show. And I'm always interacting with you guys on Twitter, and I just really want all of my YouTube subscribers to like transfer over to there because my other social media is pretty lit, if I don't say so. So I'm gonna link those below. They're on the screen. Just follow them. Do it. I dare you. Okay, so I'm gonna get right into this motherfucking story because it is so goddamn long. There is no way to condense this. So as you guys know, I go up to Reno a lot, and I have been for a long time. And so like 2 years ago, I had never been to Reno before, and a bunch of my friends hit me up and they were like, hey, we're going up to Reno. It's gonna be lit. There's like lots of parties going on. Like, this DJ is performing at this club. That's when I was like into that shit, and I would like get naked at like mini raves all the time, and it was like a wreck. And that's also the time that I was like best friends with Brian and all of his friends were going as well. Brian never went out of town because he was like a weird little hermit crab, but everyone was all going up to Reno, and I was like decent friends with this girl. We weren't really that close, and I could tell she would just kind of needed like I was her last resort. Like, she just needed someone to like fill a space in her car and like go up with her so that like more people were throwing down on gas money type shit. Like, I was not her first option. Like, she asked everyone else. She hit me up and she was like, me and a few friends are going up to Reno. If you want to join, you can, blah, blah, blah. And this was right around the time that I had just started texting Summer, and Summer went to school in Reno, and I hadn't like seen him in a really long time. And I think that that was the incentive for me really wanting to go, because for some reason, the second she texted me that, like, I wanted to go so badly. Like, there was some kind of like intuition in me that was just like, you need to go to Reno. Like, you have to get in this car. It is life or death. If you do not fucking go, it is the end of the world. And I kind of think that that's like true, that the intuition was true, because everything happens for a reason. I don't think I would have ever dated Summer if it wasn't for me going up that weekend, but I'll get into that. That's another video. That story is a shit show. Yeah, I just really wanted to go. So she texted me, and I asked my parents, and I was like, Mom, Dad, can I please go to Reno this weekend? Like, all my friends are going. I'm gonna drink so much alcohol and almost die. Just kidding, but like, really though. I keep asking them, and my parents are like, no. Like, over our dead body, you are not fucking going to Reno. And my parents were always really lenient when I was growing up. Like, I could ask them for something enough times and they would say yes no matter what it was. I feel like if I literally wanted to do cocaine, and every day for like 2 weeks I was like, please let me do cocaine, Mom and Dad, please. By like the end of the 2 weeks, they would say yes just to shut me up. Not like literally cocaine. I'm really making my parents look bad, but like, you get it. Like, they would say yes to anything, but for some reason they were not budging on letting me go to Reno. No matter what, they were like, it's an 8-hour drive. You're driving down one long road. Like, it's one just dark long road for 8 hours. Teenagers don't know how to drive. You get in a car accident, you could get pulled over, you could get arrested. I'm not gonna do that, mom and dad. Like, no. They were right, like they were 100% right. They weren't budging. They literally were at the point that they were like, if you go, we are calling the police. That is the bottom line. So, me being the stellar child that I am, I was just fucking 10 out of 10. Grade A, honor roll, fucking nerd that I was. I told my parents that I was gonna stay the weekend as I packed my rolling suitcase to go stay at a friend's house, at my friend Bree's house for the weekend. And I was like, we're just gonna hang out, whatever. I already went and like took pictures with Bree to like send them in case they asked me for like pictures. Like I was so prepared to pretend like I was going to Bree's house for the weekend. And so I waited Friday morning for my dad to go to work at like 6 a.m. and my mom was obviously asleep, and I had my friends come and get me then so my parents wouldn't see me like leave in a car that like obviously wasn't Bree's car. And so my friends pull up and they're all ready to go to Reno, and I only really know the girl that's driving. I kind of was like acquaintances with the girl in shotgun, and then the other kid that was with them I didn't know at all. This was just a terribly unsafe situation. Her car was like a beat up 2002 Ford that was just screaming like, I'm gonna break down any second, but of course we're gonna drive it 8 hours away, I don't know. So I walk out of the house at like 6 a.m. with my suitcase, and I walk up to the car, and the girl that I know is driving, the girl that I kind of know is in shotgun, and then there's just this kid in the backseat. And as I'm literally putting my luggage into the backseat, he just sparks up the fattest fucking blunt. In that moment, Tana knew she fucked up. And so I immediately just look at this kid, and he's like the biggest fucking stoner, druggy, turn up, whatever. I'm not meaning to talk shit. He's actually like a really nice kid, but just like, weed, bro. Like the biggest fucking stoner I've ever seen in my life. He literally, all he brought with him to Reno was a JanSport backpack. And inside of this backpack, like no Ziploc bags, like nothing, just the backpack itself was filled with like just nugs of weed, like ounces. Like physically imagine like a JanSport backpack just zipped open, just filled with weed. Like there's no, like, it wasn't in like Ziploc bags. Like it just like, you would open it, it was like confetti, like weed. That's the only thing he brought with him for a 3-day trip. And like paraphernalia, but we'll get into that in a moment, okay? Like no clothes, just a bag, a JanSport backpack filled with ounces of weed. Go shred a beauty blender. I get in the car, he's smoking a bunch of weed, whatever. We start on our drive. And so we're probably like 30 minutes out, like beginning this 8-hour drive to Reno. And the girl in the front seat pulls over and she's like, okay guys, it's time. And I'm like, time for what? And she's like, for our first dab. And like, if you don't know what a dab is like pure THC, like the chemical in weed condensed into wax form. Like it looks like honey, and like one hit of it like fucks you up. Like staring at a wall for 8 fucking hours thinking about like Hillary Clinton's emails, like fucked up. Like that's how fucked up a dab has you, okay? So like to drive an 8-hour drive on dabs is so dumb. Like she was literally like jeopardizing our lives. Like I can't even. So we pull over, whatever, and the stoner kid pulls out this thing called a dabbuccino, and it's like a dab rig. Like a dab rig is like what you smoke dabs out of, because you have to like light it with like a fucking torch, like a torch, like a torch, like like a torch, okay? And so he pulls out a dabbuccino, which is a dab rig, but it's shaped like a Starbucks frappuccino. You can look it up. It's the worst thing ever. Like if you have that, like get a job, like move out of your mom's house. But they're like fucking $400, and in like this stoner world, like at stoner porn on Twitter, that's like the best thing you can get. Like that is the most expensive thing you can get to like do dabs out of, whatever. He was obviously very proud of it. It was literally his prized possession. He pulls out the dabbuccino, and they all start taking dabs out of this dabbuccino. And so we're driving down the road after they've taken these dabs, about an hour into the drive, and the girl starts falling asleep at the wheel. Like we're all asleep and like veering off the road. And so we all wake up to her like veering off the road, and we're like, what the fuck is going on? And she's like, I don't even know what was happening. Like I fell asleep at the wheel. Like I don't know. My parents are gonna kill me, whatever. So then we all decided that she shouldn't drive anymore. And so then the stoner kid switches places with her, and now she's in the backseat and he's driving her car. And for the rest of the drive is literally going like 110 miles per hour, blasting like Eminem music while like taking dabs and driving. Like I think I'm gonna die. I'm so sorry, Mom. My parents are right. I shouldn't have gone to Reno, whatever. So we get to Reno. It is a weekend filled of me almost dying a million times. So much underage drinking. Like I don't know what to say. Like just imagine me like in a party, like naked as fuck, like whiskey bottle turned upside down, like drinking way too much, but like, oh my god, turn up Reno, man. Like I don't even know how to describe it. That's what happened. Just imagine me naked and like way too drunk. Like way too drunk. Shh.
Sorry.
Shh. Well, like, shut the fuck up. Like, how hard is it?
Eat my pussy.
Amari, eat my pussy. So the entire weekend is just a shit show, like I said. All of the girls we came with are constantly fighting. They're all like, I'm just gonna fly home. I'm just gonna fucking fly home. It was just an overall miserable trip. I may or may not have hooked up with like someone for the first time. I don't even, just, you can put two and two together. It was a shit show. The entire weekend was a fucking wreck. Okay, so I failed to mention that one of the nights I literally slept in a dorm room on a fuzzy rug with no blankets. And one of the other nights that I was there, the girl that we drove with told everyone that we were with that if she didn't sleep in her car with her because she was fighting with all of the other girls, that she wouldn't drive us home. So I slept in a freezing car in 40-degree weather and shook for 12 hours. Just forgot to mention, you know, like where I slept or my sleeping arrangements. So, you know, thought I'd share. And so Sunday morning comes around and we all are done. We are ready to go. We've had enough of Reno. Way too much unprotected sex. I'm just kidding. And so I'm gonna give you guys a breakdown of what is in the car before I start the rest of this story. Amari, shut up! So we had two opened, halfway finished handles, like the biggest size of alcohol you can get, of Captain Morgan. Stoner Kid brought a bag of 20 Xanax that he was gonna sell while we were there, and he didn't sell any of them. Keep in mind, one Xanax is a misdemeanor. 20 of them is 20 misdemeanors, like in jail. I don't know how that works. Like, do I look like I know how that works? You get it, whatever. An entire JanSport backpack full of marijuana, a pipe, a bong that was Rastafarian colored, a dabachino, dabs, wax, THC, which is an incredible charge, like in jail, especially in like small towns and shit like that, which I'll get into in a moment. A torch and like the little tool, like just look up a blowtorch and then come back to this video. And various other small bottles of liquor, and the entire floor of the car is just covered in like sprinkles of weed, because obviously Stoner Kid doesn't care about like the little nugs of weed. Like, he's fucking rich in weed and doesn't need those. So they're just all over the floor of the car. Swisher sweet wrappers to like roll blunts with. Like, the car is just filled with everything bad. And so we're driving home and we all just want to get home because it's been like the roughest weekend ever. So of course this girl is going like 130 fucking miles per hour, like literally like 100 plus miles per hour, like really, in her fucking beat the fuck up 2002 Ford fucking fuck you shit. And so she's driving down the road going like 110 through one of these random small towns, and everyone has been just smoking weed the entire way. Like, she has, he has, like the other girl has, I have, like, I'm sorry mom. And so we're driving down the road and Stoner Kid is like, you know what sounds good right now? I think we should smoke a fat bleeze. I don't know, what's a stupid word for blunt? A fat bleeze, yo, like a fire fucking kush ass blunt. Fucking fatty thick blizz. I don't fucking know. You get the point. So he's like, we need to roll a fat blunt or whatever. And so he gets out this professional ass. Like, I searched for this. Like, I bought this on Amazon ass blunt rolling tray to roll this motherfucking blunt on. And then just like grabs a casual handful of fucking weed out of his JanSport fucking backpack and puts it on his fucking little tray, gets out a Swisher Sweet and starts rolling a blunt. There's weed absolutely everywhere. I just want you guys to imagine like a giant man with like, can I see the Parmesan cheese shaker? So like, pretend that this is the floor of the car. I'm doing so much for this. And that this is weed. This is what the floor of the car looked like. That is what the floor of the car looked like. I hate you. But like a weed. So now we're driving down the road and we're smoking this fucking fat blunt, and she is still driving 110 miles per hour. So we're driving through this really, really small town. I believe it was Tonopah. You guys can look it up, Tonopah, Nevada. And these small towns literally have populations of like 100 or 200 or something like that. So they make the majority of their money from like speeding tickets and pulling over people driving through their towns. That's how the cops have to make their money, you know? And all of a sudden we see a cop passing us on the other side of the road. And it's like a 2-lane road, so it's very easy for them to just like turn around and pull us over, you know? And so she's going down this road going like 110 miles per hour, and we're all smoking this blunt, and as we're literally smoking and she's going 110, we pass a cop going the opposite direction. And we're like, oh fuck, what do we do? We just passed a cop. Oh my god, like I was going 110, like what do I do? There's a blunt, there's weed everywhere, like what do we do? And so we see the cop turning around to pull us over because obviously we're going 110, like why wouldn't we? It's like a car full of teenagers, whatever. And so as the cop is turning around, stoner kid, fucking 4.0 GPA, intelligent ass stoner kid, decides that the smart thing to do is to take his fucking tray, his rolling papers, all of the weed, like the blunt wrap, and the blunt itself, and just throw it out the window directly behind us where the cop now is. Like, he's like, why don't you just throw it at the cop? Why don't you just shine a flashlight, wave at the cop, and throw it at the fucking cop? Like, you fucking idiot. Why would you do that? Why would you do that? Of course, as soon as he throws it, the cop turns his lights on and pulls us over. We're waiting in the car. We're like, oh my God, like, this is so shitty. Like, what the fuck are we gonna do? Like, we were all joking all day too. Like, what if we got pulled over? And like, of course we get pulled over. We're literally sitting there in the car while the cop is behind us for like a fucking eternity, like at least 45 minutes. And we're all just like, what do we do? Like, oh my God, my parents have no idea that I went to Reno or that I was in Reno or that I was driving home from Reno. They thought I was like at Bree's house for the weekend. I'm freaking the fuck out. Finally, 45 minutes later, the cop pulls up to the window with his flashlight and knocks on the window. And of course, I don't know how the fuck this motherfucker did it. Sleuth ass, scavenger ass, detective ass motherfucker. I don't even get it. We roll down the window and he's holding the tray with the blunt and the blunt wraps and the weed that we threw out the window in his hand. And he goes, did you guys drop this? And we're like, fuck. And so everyone in the car is like, it's not ours, we swear, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, cut your fucking shit. Like, I saw you through it. Like, you guys are dumb as fuck. And so we asked for all of our IDs and he's going through everyone's ID and he's like, okay, blah, 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 18, like Las Vegas, here's your ID back. Blah, 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 19, Las Vegas. Blah, 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 22, Las Vegas. Hands him his ID back. Looks at my ID and is like, 16, huh? And I'm like, yep. 16. And he's like, what do you think you're doing out here? Like, do you know what all these people can get charged with for like you even being in the car? Like yelling at them. He hadn't even known anything that we'd like done yet other than the weed. I don't know. But he's like screaming at me. I'm like, I'm sorry. I'm 16. I don't know what to do about it. I fucking know. Piece of shit. Hi. And so he has all of us get out of the car and it's like 40 degrees. We're all obviously wearing no clothes because we're fucking whores. And we're standing on the side of the road in the fucking dirt while this officer starts going through the car. He had probable cause to search the car because he caught us like throwing the blunt out of the car or whatever. So he starts going through the car. He's gathering up all the weed on the floor. He finds a pipe in the glove box. He finds the bong in the middle compartment. And he's just lining up all the things he finds on the side of the road before us one by one. So finally he gets to the trunk. He finds the 2 handles of Captain. He finds the little bottles of UV. He finds the 20 Xanax. He finds the motherfucking Dabachino, the Jansport backpack full of weed. He finds it all and he lines all of it up before us. He looks at all of us and he goes, you're under arrest. And we're all like, so he makes all 4 of us get on our knees with the handcuffs in a line, handcuffed on our knees, sitting there in the freezing fucking cold. And so then of course, because we're on our knees in the freezing cold, like why would it just be that easy? He goes back to the car to file some reports. And of course that takes like 30 fucking minutes. So for 30 minutes, I'm in the freezing cold, my hands handcuffed behind my back and on my knees in the middle of nowhere in Tonopah, Nevada, in 40-degree weather, bawling my eyes out. I'm literally like, please God, please don't let me get arrested. I don't want to tell my parents, please. The other 3 kids I'm with are atheists and they're just looking at me like, and I'm like, God, please, no. And so finally, after like 30 minutes, he comes back over to us. We all stand up and he's like, you 3 go over there to the other 3 kids. And then to me, he's like, you're a minor. What do you think you're doing? Like lectures me for just like 30 minutes. And then he reads me off all of the charges. And he's like, you're a minor. Like you just began your life and you're already about to be charged with drug paraphernalia, drug possession, minor in possession, minor in contribution or whatever. Xanax, that's 20 felonies. There's 20 Xanax. Speeding, drunk driving, contributing to driving under the influence, like blah blah blah, just listing all these fucking charges that I'm gonna have. I'm bawling my eyes out. And so finally he's like, where's your phone? And I'm like, oh my God. So he takes my phone out of my pocket and he calls my mom and he's holding my phone to my face and he's like, tell your mom what you did, tell your mom and dad what you fucking did, like blah blah, like in my face, patronizing the living fucking shit out of me. And so he's holding this phone to my face and it's ringing to my mom and she answers and I'm like, hey mom, I'm in Reno. I just got pulled over on the side of the road. I'm about to go to jail for drug paraphernalia, drug charges, Xanax felony charges, minor in possession of alcohol, minor in contribution to alcohol, driving under the influence, blah, 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 blah. And my mom literally laughs and she's like, are you and Bree just like prank calling me? Like dead ass in the sweetest voice, literally thinks I'm with Bree at her house, prank calling her. And I'm like, no mom, I didn't, I'm sorry. Like, I'm sorry, you're gonna have to come get me. I'm in Tonopah, Nevada, whatever. And she's like, I still don't believe you. Like, you're just kidding, honey. Like, I'll see you tomorrow. Like, love you, bye. And then the officer gets on the phone. He's like, no, this is officer, fuck your dick cock. And we're on the side of the road in Tonopah, Nevada. And your daughter, Tana Marie, is under arrest for blah, 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 blah. And my mom literally goes, oh, then I'm not coming to get her. And the officer goes, okay, and hangs up. I don't get to say bye. I don't get to say I'm sorry. My mom was not gonna fucking come and get me. It's 6 the fuck hours away from fucking Las Vegas. Like literally 6 hours away. The jail in this town is so small. So then the cop takes my phone, puts it in his pocket, and he's like, well, I guess you're just gonna have to go to jail with all of the murderers and child rapists and random people from this town, you know? Like, I'm sorry. And I'm bawling my eyes out. I'm begging him not to. I'm begging him. He's saying no. So finally he gets all the other kids over and he's like, okay, here's what I'm gonna have you guys do before I arrest you when you go to jail. He's like, I'm gonna have you guys smash all of your stuff. And so Stoner Kid, up until this entire point, was 100% composed. Didn't shed a tear. Wasn't mad he was getting arrested. Wasn't mad over any of it. Was totally fine, straight face. He was literally standing there with the handcuffs on like, fuck the police. Fuck 12. Fuck ops. Fuck this shit, yo. And then as soon as the police officer tells him that he has to smash his drug paraphernalia, that's what broke him. He breaks down into tears. He's bawling his eyes out. He's like, man, fuck 12. Fuck the ops, man. Fuck this. Fuck the police. They pigs, man. They pigs. And I'm like, shut the fuck up. I don't want to go to fucking jail in Tonopah, fucking Nevada. Like, what the? Like, he's literally like calling the police like pigs, like to this guy's face. Like, it was... He makes all of us line up and one by one is making us like smash a handle, smash a handle, smash the vodka, smash the vodka, smash the bong, smash the pipe. We all had to step on the Xanax one by one, crumble the weed like between our handcuffed hands until it was like nothing and it was blowing away in the wind. This kid's bawling his eyes out. And lastly, we get to the Dabbuccino and the officer looks at Stoner Kid, is holding the Dabbuccino, takes the kid's handcuffs off, makes him put his hands up like this, puts the Dabbuccino in his hands. The officer gets this close to his face and he goes, smash it. And the kid is just holding it like literally. That's what broke him. And so he literally grabs it like this and goes, fuck the police, and smashes his Dabbuccino everywhere and then falls to the ground and is bawling his eyes out. So then the officer gets back on top of him, puts him back in handcuffs, puts all 4 of us back on our knees. All of our things, by the way, like all of our suitcases filled with clothes, all of our clothes is just spread across the street. When the officer was going through all of our stuff, he was just throwing shit everywhere, just getting out all the bad shit. Our stuff is literally everywhere. And so he's walking all over our clothes that are all over the street and looks at all of us and was like, so you all are about to go to jail. I'm about to call for backup and I'm about to take you guys away and you guys will have the charges of speeding. You 3 will have contributing to a minor, contributing to the influence of a minor, contributing alcohol to a minor. You all will have drug paraphernalia charges, 20 counts of a misdemeanor due to possession of Xanax or like possession of a narcotic without prescription or whatever. The most grandiose count of weed charge anyone could ever have in their entire life. Like, it was literally like a felony possession charge. Minor in consumption of alcohol, minor in possession of alcohol, minor distribution of alcohol, driving under the influence, aiding and abetting a criminal driving under the influence and in possession, possession with intent to distribute, like blah blah blah. He's reading all of these charges. We are all bawling our eyes out. My mom is blowing up my phone and he has it and he's reading the text like, I'm not coming to get you. You're gonna have to spend the night in jail with murderers and child rapists. And so finally, the officer goes behind all 4 of us and he takes this key out of his little officer belt and one by one undoes all of our handcuffs and takes them away. And so we're all like, what are you doing? I thought we were under arrest. And he looks at all of us and he goes, you just got punked. Be safer next time. Have a safe drive home. And writes the girl a speeding ticket and just drives away. We all spend the next hour on the side of the road in Tonopah, fucking Nevada, packing all of our clothes back into our suitcases in 40-degree weather. And we get back in the car, we start driving home, and I call my mom and I'm like, how funny was that? Oh my god, we totally fucking got you. Her dad was in on it. He pretended to be a cop. I'm at fucking Bree's house. I'll see you tomorrow. And my mom was literally just like, oh my god, honey, like you terrified me. I was so fucking mad, so pissed at you. I was not gonna come and get you. Oh my god. And I'm like, oh, wasn't it a funny joke? Like, bye mom, love you. Literally until today, until this video goes live, my mom thinks that was a prank. And it wasn't a prank. And then the rest of the car ride home, we gathered the rest of the weed off of the floor of the car and smoked it. Because teenagers don't fucking learn anything and they're really shitty fucking people. That is the story of the time that a police officer scared me absolutely shitless. I thought my entire life was over and that I was gonna have to spend life, not even the night, in jail in Tonopah fucking Nevada, 6 hours from home, with more fucking charges than like Gucci Mane. If you learn anything from this video, don't. Just don't do anything that I stated at all. Your parents are probably fucking right. I'm a piece of fucking shit. So I hope you guys enjoyed that little story. If you did, make sure to subscribe. If you want to hear more stories of times I've been almost arrested, detained, anything like that, I have a fucking million because I was a delinquent fucking child. And like I always say, I hope you guys can learn from things that I did wrong and not do them wrong because I was such a fucking dumbass. And I love you guys so much. Thank you for being this amazing family of 2 million, and I will talk about that in my next video because this video was supposed to go up a minute ago and it's too much for this outro right now, the feelings and emotions that I have. But I love you guys so much and I will talk to you in the next video. Bye.